In my family, when someone mentions Big Daddy, they aren't talking about the 1999 Adam Sandler's film. They most likely are talking about my grandpa. With 6 children, 16 grandchildren, and now 17 great-grandchildren in the mix, there's no surprise as to why my grandpa, and favorite person in the world, was nicknamed Big Daddy. We all can probably think of at least one person who's had a major influence on our lives, whether it be the lessons they've taught us or just the pure act of them loving us. My grandpa wasn't just a big daddy to his family, but to every person he came in contact with. He was so caring and like a universal father to all. Today, I'm going to tell you about why my grandpa is the best person I know. First, I'm going to talk about his strength, second, about how caring he was, and lastly, about how he taught me a very important lesson, that silence can be beautiful. Now let's first talk about Big Daddy's strength. My grandpa was a strong and patient man. Growing up on a farm in Mississippi as a black man was not easy for him. He dealt with segregation and faced adversity just for the color of his skin. My grandpa persevered through the discrimination and enlisted into the military when he was of age. He worked as a medical technician, helping those that were injured regain their strength to fight during World War II. After his time in the military, my grandpa moved north to Minnesota, where he continued to help people, regardless of their culture or background, by joining the Human Rights Commission in Roseville, Minnesota. The strength and patience my grandpa had when dealing with the daily struggles of being a black man is something that I admire most about him. A second thing I admire most about my grandpa was how caring he was. My grandpa truly was a big daddy and one of the most caring people I've ever met. He was always driving people to church, he volunteered at the VA hospital after his retirement, and he always made time for his grandchildren, making it a point to have a personal connection with all 16 of us. My grandpa always kept raisins stocked in his cupboard whenever I visited because he knew they were my favorite snack. And he always made sure that the birds, bunnies, and squirrels in his backyard were fed as well. He could actually get squirrels to eat club crackers out of his hand, and every day the squirrels would return for more. These simple, kind gestures are just a snippet of how caring my grandpa was. He could be relied on and never expected anything in return. The last reason why I admire my grandpa so much is because he taught me a very important lesson, that silence can be beautiful. In the last few moments that I spent with my grandpa, the last time I saw him before he passed away, we just sat in silence while he rubbed my back. It is now that I look back on this moment and reflect on how much was said without words. Words are not always needed to express how much you love someone. Just being in my grandpa's presence that day, I could feel the love he had for me and everyone around him. This lesson has taught me to be a more calm and peaceful person, and also has made me want to be a better listener to all of my loved ones. My grandpa was calm and peaceful, and he knew that not every action needed an explanation for why he did things. He helped because he cared, he loved because he could, and he sat with me in those last few moments in silence because he had nothing but comfort to give. I truly wish that everyone could feel the comfort that my grandpa gave to many. In conclusion, it's not hard to see why my grandpa is my favorite person. He was strong and caring, and he taught me that there is silence and beauty. When you think about the person that's had a major influence on your life, maybe think about the silent moments you've shared with them and how much was communicated without words. And even though Big Daddy's no longer with us today, I still carry with me his peaceful silence and can hear him in my heart. Thank you.